Hey guys, what is up? For the Morning Edge, I am your host, Melissa, joined by two of the sharpest of bettors, Matt and Krabs. Guys, happy Friday. How you feeling?
Happy it's Friday, Melissa. We made it. We made it through the week, so now it's time to have fun, get rich, and have a good weekend.
Yeah, we got to pay for these drinks, guys, so we got work to do today. All right, the fun has not started yet. It starts tonight after we cash all these bets and sweep the Thunderdome. All right.
How did you guys do last week in the Thunderdome?
I won again, Melissa.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was nothing new. That's my fifth or sixth. We're gonna get an official tracker on that.
Wait, you're fifth for sixth. So the only one you lost was when you played me.
Fifth or sixth. I've lost a couple more.
Okay.
The one I'm most upset about is when I played you. But I've lost because John is a couple. John has a couple on his resume. But now now I'm the king since I got a little bit of a head start, but nonetheless, I have the most oddschecker Thunderdomes, and nobody can dispute that.
All right, well that is very true. Let's get into it. How did you guys do Thursday with your bets?
Not good on the show. So overall, we won, but this pick was pretty bad, and I'm not even going to blame myself for this, guys, because the Clippers thought that it was a two-quarter game. I think that happens sometimes. Sometimes they forget about the second half. They were up 11 at the half. All right, so we were feeling good going into the half, and then I think they lost by like 45 at the end. I don't know how exactly it ended, but it was ugly. So Clippers -3, not good. 0-4 since Russ joined the team. Russ has lost his last 14 starts, I believe, dating back to this year. So that's insane. So if you're sad about something today, just think you could have lost your last 14 starts. You didn't, so be proud of that. You're not Russell Westbrook in that case, but yeah, Clippers might be banned, guys. They've been cold lately, and every time it looks like they're going to bounce back, it's a Clippers line. Not the case. So that's how it is.
Yeah, I take the blame for my bet. It was just an atrocious play. So that's on me. We move on to the next one. Okay.
That's good. So some guys own it, Krabs. That's good. You own it. I blame the players. Like I'm saying, I was sitting right there on my couch. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't have done anything. It was no defense, easy buckets. It was a tough one for sure.
Yeah, Clippers stink.
Yeah, they're getting close to the ban list. They're on their way there.
All right. Well, guys, let's turn some red into green. We've got a huge UFC fight this weekend. It is UFC 285. Now, we are going to see the return of Jon Bones Jones. It has been 3 long years. He's making his return to the octagon, this time as a heavyweight contender. Jones still holds the UFC records for most victories. He is 35 now. He's a little older. He is going up against the #1 ranked heavyweight contender, Ciryl Gane, who's like 11-1 in UFC. His last fight, he won by a knockout victory. What are you guys looking at for one of the co-main events? This one first. We'll start with.
All right, we'll start with this.
Yeah.
I'm not fading Jon Jones. I don't love the -170, obviously, but sometimes in UFC you got to pay a little bit of juice. Maybe take him like by a knockout or something fun. But no, I'm not fading him. I don't care. You mentioned it. It's been a while, right? It's been a few years. That's not my dog. My dog's coming next. You guys have to be ready for that. But no, I'm gonna. I'll be taking Jones. Just don't know how, because again, it's a little juicy there, -170 on the money line, but it's probably gonna win anyway. So why not just cash it in?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't fought in 3 years, and he's been very picky with who he's fighting. So I feel like he's not going to pick a fight, that he thinks he's going to lose. Not that he would ever do that, but it's been a while, right? He only has 1 loss ever, and it'd be good for the UFC if Jon Bones Jones continues to be, incredible, right? He's one of the bigger names in the sport. So sometimes you got to not fear the juice, embrace it, and lay it. And I think this is probably the case here with the -170. Could be worse. Could be -200. Could be -300.
Could be -750, like our next co-main event.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Well, guys, I love this pick because, Jones is a New Yorker, and I mean, what else is there to say on that one?
Now I'm gonna hedge out. I don't like the New York comparison, Melissa.
He was born in Rochester, so it's not like New York City, if that makes you feel better, Matt.
I don't know anything about New York. I just know they lose a lot, and I don't like their, the people associated with it.
relax.
That's all I know about
It
it.
is tough to move up in a weight class, so we'll see what happens. But let's go on to our second co-main event. We've got Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. It is a flyweight title fight between the longtime champion Shevchenko. Now, she's been around for a while, so this is a tough one for Grasso. What are you guys looking at here? Matt, you said you're looking at a dog here.
Yeah, I'm going with Grasso plus 550. She's Italian, Melissa. I'm all in. You know what?
I love that too. Let's go for it.
She's winning this thing. She's gonna get it done. The number's crazy. I don't care. That's why I'm betting it. Plus 550 in a fight like this. Why would I? I mean, what are you gonna do? Like minus 750? Like there's really one option here, one option only. So yeah, I'll take Grasso. Little plus 550 action on a Saturday night. Why not? It'll be fun.
What about you, Krabs?
Well, I'll be a liar if I said I'd ever watched any of these people fight before. She's probably minus 750 for a reason. To be honest, I probably wouldn't be fading that, but definitely wouldn't be laying the minus 750. There's no way you can even play that, right? There's no value there one bit. So I get it, Matt, but she's probably minus 750 for a reason. You know?
Maybe she's gonna be humbled this weekend, though. I'm just saying, Grasso's got her. So yeah, I've two important to point out. I've never watched either of these people. I didn't even know who they were until right now. But that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We see a plus 550, we're jumping on. So yeah, let's take it.
Like a half a unit.
Yeah, maybe.
Nothing
crazy. Yeah, don't go insane. I mean, just see what you can get off of it. You know?
All right, guys. Well, before we head into the Thunderdome and my pick of the day, don't forget to hit the link in our description on YouTube for a can't-miss DraftKings sign-up bonus to take advantage of this card. Also, there's a link in our description on YouTube for a free Lear Blocks pick. And that goes right into your email. It's a free VIP pick in your inbox. It takes 2 seconds. Sign up and go. Because, I love free VIP. I always like Matt's tweets when they're giving out VIPs, but he never selects me. So
maybe one. Oh, and important to point out, apparently Grasso is Mexican and not Italian, but she's still gonna win.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought she was, but you know what? Doesn't change my pick. Don't let
it does not.
No, it's not.
All right, Matt. Now I know you don't like New Yorkers or New York very much, but you might not like this next pick I got here. It is an NBA pick. I checked out the slate today, and there is only one way to go. The Knicks are taking on the Miami Heat. Now the game is in Miami, but obviously you guys know who I'm going with here, right? Like I don't have to spell it out for you guys.
No, it's on the screen, so now I know.
The Knicks just steamrolled the Nets on Wednesday. They have now won 7 in a row, which is crazy. They have won 9 of their last 10, even crazier. They are getting hot right at the end of the season, which is exactly what we want from them. Jalen Brunson just won Player of the Month. The addition of Josh Hart at the trade deadline has really elevated the Knicks' play. Matt, you might actually like this. Hart did play with Brunson at Villanova.
I do like Hart and Brunson.
Julius Randle is having a good year, and we always love it when Julius is doing his thing. Quickly has been unbelievable off the bench. He has a lot more confidence on the court this season. He's in the running for 6th man of the year. I don't see how the Knicks don't win this. I know I said take the money line, but you also got to look at the spread. I think it's -2, -2.5. If you're feeling frisky, it is Friday. Go for it. Miami is just 1-5 in their last 6 games, both outright and at the spread. Jimmy Butler might not even be playing today, and if he does, his knee injury might slightly compromise him. So, can you guys tell I'm a fan of the Knicks? I don't know.
Yeah. I hate the Knicks, but if Butler doesn't play, definitely I do like the Knicks tonight. So,
all right. Well, there you go. Get it in before it's official and that line moves.
Yep.
What do you think, Krabs?
Your Knicks, right? You get a pretty good breakdown there, so I trust you. Look, I don't love the NBA or betting it. I prefer the college kids. They show more heart. But your team, right? I trust you. Let's ride.
All right, let's get it done. And before we do that, let's go into the Thunderdome, where Matt is going to try to go to double back victories.
Yes.
Yep. What got on tonight?
This hand's getting lonely because the one is 5 rings. The other one's just staring at it. So I'm just I'm gonna add to it today. But let's get to it.
I'm rooting for Krabs in this round. Sorry.
Okay. You always root against me, so I'm kind of used to it. I don't really take offense, but yeah, we'll get into it and let's do it. So
all right, let's go.
9 picks for this weekend. All right, guys, here it is. With the Thunderdome, we got a special guest today, Dylan at Dilberto Picks. Did I pronounce that correctly, right?
Yeah, DilbertoPicks. Thanks for having me on, Matt. Appreciate it.
Of course, bro. Yeah. Of course, we've talked a lot through Twitter. Obviously, you know Krabs well. So excited to get you on. If you guys are new to this, the Thunderdome, pretty simple, very simple actually. 9 bets each, or 9 bets each, 3 bets each, 9 bets total. Whoever makes the most units, they win. They get to stay in the Thunderdome. If the guest wins, they stay in the Thunderdome. They lose, we move on and get a new guest next week. As always, Dylan, we let you go first. We always give the guest. We're very polite here. We give the guest the chance to go first. So, what are we looking at today?
So today I have 3 plays, taking all of them to the college basketball. But first is Tulane -11 versus East Carolina. So in this one, we just saw both of these teams face off on March 1st, which it's kind of crazy. I feel like we never see teams play back-to-back this soon. So I like Tulane in this spot. They just lost by 15 to East Carolina in East Carolina last week. East Carolina essentially dominated that entire game. Tulane essentially only had the lead in the first minute of the game when they scored the first basket. After that, East Carolina essentially dominated. They had 17 offensive rebounds, but that was essentially Tulane's worst defense performance of the year in terms of defensive efficiency. They allowed 17 offensive rebounds, and I think this is a big bounce back spot for this Tulane team. They've lost 3 in a row. They're right on in terms of in the American Conference standings. Cincinnati and Temple are like right behind them. And I think it's a huge spot for them because the 3rd seed has a much easier path towards that championship game than the 4th seed would, because the 4th seed would essentially be playing Cincinnati or Temple in the first game, which is a tough matchup. So I like Tulane with a bounce back spot here. After losing 3 in a row, this is a good spot for them. Essentially with the spread being 11, it kind of is pointing towards the fact that Vegas thinks that they're going to bounce back and get right today. So
I love this pick.
Give me Tulane -11 for my first pick.
All right, here we go.
Love it.
Tulane -11. All right, so that's what Dylan's going to start off with. Krabs, what are you going to counter with?
Yeah, give me Abilene Christian +8.5. You might be able to only get 7.5 now. That's okay. I think they might win this game outright. They have been struggling recently. They've lost and haven't covered 4 in a row, including a 15-point loss to Sam Houston State at home the other day. And Sam Houston State, their opponent tonight, has been on fire. They've won 6 games in a row, but this line is short, in my opinion, right? And the line was short when these guys played that first time when, Abilene lost by a good amount. They were +1.5 there, but unfortunately, Abilene played terrible that game. They shot 38%. I think Vegas thought that game was going to be close, or Abilene was sharp and they were supposed to get a win there. I think they just shot like crap, to be honest with you. I think this time around they're getting extra points from that terrible performance, but that was just a little bit of an overreaction to how bad they just shot the ball. They had plenty of open looks. I think they actually convert those this time around. I love the line move. I love the splits, and I love Abilene Christian tonight with the points against one of the hottest teams in college basketball, Sam Houston State.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so you guys are going college hoops. For your first couple, I'm going to turn to the NBA here. Number 1 versus number 2 in the West tonight. We get the Grizz going into the Mile High to take on the Nuggets. I'm back in the Nuggets -5. These teams played on Saturday. I was on the Grizzlies. It was in Memphis. But this is a perfect bounce-back spot for Denver after kind of getting blown out in Memphis. So the Nuggets have been outstanding at home this year. Best team in the NBA on their home floor, 28-4, playing in Denver. Memphis has been great overall, but on the road, they're just 12-18. So they've really struggled playing away from home, 6 games under the 500 mark. This is a good spot for Denver. I know a lot of people in the chat are going to be happy because they think I like fading Denver all the time, which is not true. My biggest feature is on Denver. So I'm actually not a Denver hater. Jokic shouldn't have won, both MVPs, and B deserved one. Everybody knows that, but nothing against the Nuggets. But they get it done tonight, -5 at home. The fact that the spread is at 5, if it was a little lower, I would think it's a Grizz play. But a line like this definitely is a Nuggets read all the way. So we're going to go with the Nuggets tonight, -5. Get the job done in Denver to kick us off. And then we got an early game today, guys. Some early college hoops. Shout out yesterday to our early bets. They came through. We were able to get a good price live. I'm not waiting on this one, though. We're going we're going to take an early game with Indiana State -2.5. So been looking at this line all day against Belmont here. I like them to get it done. I think this will be a hard fought game. Let me see what time this thing starts at. Is it 12:30 or 2:30? Let me see, because this is big. It's big when the earlier it starts.
3:30 Eastern.
Is it 3:30 Eastern? Okay. So 3:30 Eastern time, big time game. Quarterfinal game. Obviously, these teams, they're both playing for their season. Belmont finished slightly ahead in the standings, but I think they match up well today. I'm going to be all in. Going to be all in on Indiana State. Get the job done. Like that number, 2.5. So that's going to be my early bet. That's going to get us rolling for a big weekend, for a big night. So got to win that early game. That's always pivotal. But nonetheless, Indiana State -2.5 versus Belmont. I like them to get it done. That's at -110 right now on DraftKings. So going to be all in there. Krabs, what are you looking at?
Yeah, and I like that pick too, man. You're going with Larry Bird's alma mater. Pretty cool. Maybe they'll shoot like him today. Okay.
So I'm saying. I mean, you always have to add that into when you cap the game. Yeah, who's the alumni? You get Larry Bird. So that definitely helps out.
Maybe he'll lace them up tonight. Anyways, we're going to a disgusting game, a game where you got to bet the line and not the team. We're going to Utah Tech tonight. Oof. A lot of people probably haven't even heard of that school. Well,
nope.
you don't have to hear about a school to bet on it. You just got to find the bet, find the line. Okay. And right now, this line flipped in this game. They opened up +1 at home, and now they're -1, which is crazy considering they're 13-17 and they're playing against a 19-1 Grand Canyon team that's played better recently. Both these teams are pretty mid, to be completely honest with you, records aside, but I absolutely love the line flip, especially considering Utah Tech almost won the first time around at Grand Canyon. Now they're coming home, and they've got a revenge narrative here. The line flip is beautiful. The splits are even better, 35% of bets, but 64% of handle. So some big boy bets dropping on Utah Tech tonight, along with mine, and we're going to cash. All right?
I got to ride that. It's just so gross that I have to ride it,
Yep.
Bet on Utah Tech on a Friday night. Why not? All right, so I like those picks. We got 5 of the 9. We still got 4 to go. Dylan, it's a snake draft, so you get to do your final 2 here to close out your first Thunderdome.
Okay, cool. Well, the second pick, I'm taking it to the Stephen F. Austin versus Utah Valley game being played at Utah Valley today. I'm taking Utah Valley with the 7.5. They already clinched the number 1 seed, which scares me a little bit. But they're on pace to be like their best season ever. They've never made it to the March Madness tournament, and I think this is their year to take that spot, that one bid league. They're essentially the best defensive team in that conference in every stat you could possibly find. They have been putting up great performances ever since December 3rd. So on December 3rd, they started changing up how their coach essentially changed their roster up. So they were utilizing like mostly 5 players, but now they're going to 8 players. So there's 8 guys on that team that average over 16 minutes per game. And in those games since December 3rd, they're 17-3. And in those games, they're 16-4 against the spread. An absolute powerhouse. And I feel like a lot of people are undervaluing how good Utah Valley is. They essentially beat Oregon on the road, BYU on the road, and took Wake Forest to overtime this year. For being a small conference team, I think Utah Valley has the pieces to make a run in the tournament if they are able to make it. But I'm taking Utah Valley with the points. They like to tack the basket down low, and Stephen F. Austin fouls quite a bit. They are the second worst fouling team in college basketball. I expect Utah Valley to put on a show tonight.
I like it. These games are gross, guys. A lot of ugly games. There's people in the chat definitely curious as to a lot of who these teams are, but we're going to introduce them tonight, right, with some wins. So Utah Tech, Utah Valley, Indiana State. Yeah, not the prettiest teams, but all we care about.
March Madness coming up, right? People better start getting hip to these schools.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I mean, one of them is going to be in, right? Probably on this list. So
Someone's got to do it.
You'll see them somewhere. All right, 3 bets to go, guys. Let's close out strong. Dylan stays with you. What are you looking at again?
Okay, so this one's a little bit square, but I'm taking New Mexico versus Colorado State tonight. I'm taking New Mexico with the points. They're playing at Colorado State, but I think this is a good spot for New Mexico. They know that they need to make a run here in the Mountain West Conference tournament if they want to get a bid into the March Madness. And I think that they put up a performance tonight. They looked very, very good against Fresno State earlier in the week, and I like them to do the same today versus Colorado State. Morris Udeze, transferred from Wichita State, has been putting up some unbelievable performances down low. He had 13 rebounds last time they played Colorado State, and I think we see another big game out of him tonight. Colorado State essentially has no one that could guard him. They don't have a real big man, so I think that he puts on a show tonight, and New Mexico puts on a performance, getting that momentum going into the Mountain West tournament. So I like New Mexico.
I like
with
the pick, man. The line's moved from -1 to 2.5 now most places, which is a good sign because Colorado State is fake sharp, and usually they get the good line movement every game, and they never come through because they stink. So I love it.
Exactly. Just faded them a couple nights ago. I was on Utah State, kind of a blowout. Yeah, I think their season's over, and I mean they don't really have much to play for at this point. You mentioned it. New Mexico loses this, they probably knock themselves, fully out. They're kind of hanging on for dear life right now, so they definitely need a dub tonight to keep the committee honest. All right, Krabs, 2 bets to go. What are you closing us out with?
Got another school you never heard of. You will after tonight when they bring the coins home, though. Okay, we're going with Tennessee Tech. Getting 2 points here at home. Now they're +1.5-ish some places. There's still a 2 lying around a couple places. But look, Tennessee Tech, the line might look weird. They got a losing record. They're playing against Tennessee Martin, who's 19-13, right? It looks a little off with that short line. But Tennessee Tech actually played way better in this conference all year. They're the 2 seed. They're the better seed than Tennessee Martin here. And this game is on a neutral site, though, guys. So make sure you know where these games are all being played when you're betting on CBB at this time of the year because – some conferences, play neutral sites. Some have it at the home court. So you got to pay attention and know, where these guys are playing when you're betting. But I love the line move. And that losing record is a little bit deceiving. I really like this Tennessee Tech squad and what they did over the past month or two in conference play. And I think they get it done with that line move. And the splits are pretty fire as well. Some bigger bets coming in on this Tennessee Tech team moving that line. So we're going to ride the line move. Chase the steam and hop on. I think they win this game, though, outright. But take the point. All right?
Take the points. Take the points with them. Okay. Krabs, you're getting a lot of people saying, why Utah Tech? Do you have any response to that?
Why Utah Tech? I mean, I definitely explained it a little bit. It's a bet the line, not the team move. Line flipped. Utah Tech almost won the first time around when they were playing at Grand Canyon. Now they're home tonight. And the splits are nuts. I mean, 64% of handle, but only 35% of bets. So the people who are betting on these are usually – sharps or people who know what they're doing, dropping some hammers on Utah Tech. And that's the side I want to be on that side, right?
Yeah. I'm riding with you. We've seen Utah. I've never seen more Utah Tech doubters in a chat in my life.
I might have to make it a POD.
I don't even think these people know who they are. They're just like, why Utah Tech? All right, so we're all in on Utah Tech, Tennessee Tech, and who else you got? Abilene Christian.
Abilene, right, so, yes, sir.
Yep, that's a hell of a lineup. All right, so be some fun games tonight. All right, guys, I'm going to close this out. We're going to go with an XFL parlay just so I can stretch out the Thunderdome. I'm going to make you guys sweat a little bit. Need some plus money in the Thunderdome. If we all sweet, it's the only way I can win it, right? So I got to go to my Thunderdome pick. We're going to go with a parlay. We're going to go with the Sea Dragons. Sea Dragons are going to kick us off. They're going to take us home. So Ben DiNucci, guys, keeps fumbling the bag at the end of the games. The first time they lost to the Defenders, they were on the 1-yard line. They literally fumbled the ball. That's how they lost. Second game around, they lost on a game-winning kick. So they're due. They're due for a win. They could very well be 2-0. They actually have a pretty good defense. As much as it's fun to make fun of Ben DiNucci, he's actually looked pretty good this year until the end of the game. But he did kind of ice up last game. I got to give him some credit. He had a comeback drive. He gave him the lead with 30 seconds. Defenses couldn't hold it down. So they're going to get it done. And then, Krabs, we're going to get with your boys, the DC Defenders. So 2-0 so far. I know sports right now in DC aren't that hot. This could be your team. This could be the team that kind of brings DC, puts them back on the map. 2-0 right now.
For sure.
At the moment, all right, 2-0. They win this game, guys. They are they're going to be in first place. Even if the Roughnecks win, they would both be 3-0. But we get them at home. If you guys missed that last home game, absolutely wild. What were they throwing lemons on the field, right?
Yeah, because the security took the beer snakes away, which is kind of their thing. Pretty much whoever goes to that game is like somebody our age who likes to go and get absolutely obliterated, right? So that place is nuts. I mean, way more electric than a Commanders game, to be completely honest with you. It just was. But the security took away the beer snakes. The fans were upset, right? So they started grabbing these lemons out of these mixed drink cups that they were selling, and they were launching them at the field at the freaking players and shit. It was nuts.
Just
Nuts.
wild. I mean,
That is
yeah,
unreal.
you can't make that up. I mean, I was
No.
watching that game live, and I was like, they're throwing lemons. And then the crazy thing is that kind of flipped the momentum of the game. I
Dude,
think
as soon as that happened, whoever they were playing melted, and their defense absolutely clamped in.
it was
So
over.
they're
It was
feeling that
over.
energy at the stadium, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him credit where credit's due. I think that completely flipped the game. So definitely a big play there. But the defenders, nonetheless, they're playing the Battlehawks, and the Battlehawks have been the luckiest team in the XFL. They came back; they were down by like 12 with 2 minutes. Remember that game, week 1, they won that, and then week 2, game-winning kick. So kind of, a lot of luck has been involved for the Battlehawks as of late. I think that luck runs out this weekend. They could very well be 0-2. I think they regress a little bit here. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to go with the Sea Dragons to get it done. And the defenders, that gets us to plus 166. So, I mean, listen, I expect you guys to sweep, right? So that's why I had to get some plus money in there.
It's a veteran move, man.
Smart man.
Well, I got 5 rings, guys. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. It's
You know what you're doing.
You got to use the brain sometimes.
Yeah, Dylan, I don't know if you know, but he's got 5 rings.
Yes, I do. 500 rings. You'll get one shipped to you if you can pull it off. But
Sure.
we'll see who can get it done this weekend. All right, guys. So a lot of bets. Just to go over, you guys take a picture of it. Whatever you got to do. There's 9 free winners for the weekend. That's crazy. We're just giving these out for free. They're all going to cash in. Is your guys' games all tonight? I'm looking at.
They are. I was hoping the CBB lines would be out for tomorrow a little bit, but they don't come out till like this afternoon, unfortunately. So we're only really left with NBA, college football, and XFL.
It's limited.
Yep.
Yeah, I will say this is the hardest time of the year for the Thunderdome because you guys you're playing in the hardest environment because football season, NFL lines are out, right? College football lines are out, so you got a lot to pick from. With these games, it's limited, right? You only get 1 day of college. NBA, you get 1 slate. So
what you're saying is if I win this one, because of how difficult it is,
it
overshadows all 5 of your wins, and I become
it could overshadow. It would definitely. Yeah, I mean, some people would call some of my rings like when the Lakers won in the bubble, right? Some people say they're Mickey rings, but they still count. They still count nonetheless.
Mickey Mouse rings.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's still. I'm still going to use them. Still going to flex them. But yeah, why not? All right, we have like 2 minutes, guys, and we just had a good question. Any CBB bets for tomorrow? I don't think there's any lines out there, but real quick, just from each of you, is there a game? Kind of putting you guys on the spot, but is there a game that either of you have looked at? You might think there's going to be an angle you like. There's a lot of really good games. Kind of it's the last Saturday of the season, which is wild. Last regular season. Is there any games, real quick, you guys are looking at?
The one game that I'm actually most excited about is the Alabama versus Texas A&M game tomorrow, being played at Texas A&M. Okay. Texas A&M has been putting up really, really good performances, but they've also been like very shaky, like back and forth. Some games they'll put up unbelievable performances, and then some games they essentially don't show up. But I'm hoping the spread is around 5.5, 6. It's probably gonna be less than that, to be honest. And if it is less than that, I think I'm gonna be taking Texas A&M. I like them tomorrow. They're the number 2 seed in the SEC, and I actually like them to make a run here in the March Madness tournament. So I like Texas A&M.
I want them to get hot.
Yep. I like them this year. So
my line guess will be I'll say Bama -4. That's my guess for that line.
Mm-hmm.
That's if I had to guess, and I would take
3.5.
Yeah, I would also take A&M if it is like.
Mm-hmm.
Krabs, do you have any game that kind of caught your attention?
Yeah, I'll be boots on ground tomorrow. Kansas at Texas, probably the game of the day. Super excited for that one. I'm hoping Texas opens up as a favorite. Maybe they open up at a small dog at home after that loss at TCU. But the more they're a favorite or the shorter the dog they are, the more I'm going to like them tomorrow. I'm just hoping that they don't open up like +8 or something crazy like that. If Kansas opens up a fat favorite on the road, I'm going to be a little concerned. But, barring that, I'm going to be all over the Longhorns, and they'll get it done at home and hand Kansas probably one of their first Q1 opportunity losses all season. I feel like Kansas has converted every single Q1 opportunity all year. That's not sustainable. And they're going to Texas coming off a loss. That crowd's going to be nuts. Game of the year, potentially. I'm all in on the Longhorns. Hook 'em.
All right. Yeah, my guess for that line, Texas opens -1.5. That's my guess.
Yep.
I think they'll be a slight favorite. They've been great. Kansas already won the Big 12, right? So like they're not. They're playing a little bit for I guess seeding purposes, but other than that, that's my guess. All right, my game, since we all did one game, UCLA and Arizona. I think that's one you got to look at, guys. 10 o'clock too, so late night. Hopefully you've had a good day so far, right? Probably got some drinks flowing at that point. 10 at night, late night game. I think that'll just be a fun one to watch. But again, UCLA, they already locked up the Pac-12. So, interesting game. Arizona last night obviously kind of put a beating on USC. They've shown this season they can get on the road, but UCLA almost unbeatable at home. If that line's over 4, I'll take the Cats. If it's like 5.5 kind of line, I'll take Arizona. My guess for that one will be like 3.5 or 4 though, in the favor of UCLA. But that's a big boy game. That's gonna show a lot for the seeding because whoever wins that, Arizona's pushing up on that 2 line. UCLA is a 1 seed right now, so that'll be a fun game for sure. Someone said Kansas is playing for the number 1 overall seed, so we will be ready. That is true. They're still playing. They're still playing for something, but I do like Texas in that game, even though we have no line. Just fun to guess the line. All right, guys, that'll be it for today's show. A little bit shorter than usual, but that's what the Thunderdome does. Knocks you out quick. Gets done, and that's it. So one more time, guys, make sure to lock in these 9 bets. A lot of teams tonight that you're going to fall in love with because you don't know them yet, but you will. Like Krabs said, you'll know them when they cash for you. So that's all you guys need to worry about. We do want to thank Dylan. Give him a follow at Dilberto Picks. Always dropping the heat. A lot of college hoops. Dude, what other sports do you do, Dylan? I know you do some MLB, right?
I do some MLB, mostly football, so NFL, college football, a sprinkle in UFC sometimes. If I like the card, I'll put out some plays, but because I watch UFC religiously, but not always put.
Well, anything tonight in these fights? You like John Ben's
now you got to give us something for the weekend before you head out. If you got
I honestly haven't looked at what the lines are. I'm really bad about UFC. Like usually for other sports, I look way far in advance, but UFC, it's more of like, oh, we got fights tonight. Now I'll go look and see what I'm liking to see kind of how the line is moved essentially. And then if it's moved too much, then I usually don't touch it. But if there's still a spot that I think has value, that's usually when I sprinkle on them. So
UFC sneaks up on you. UFC definitely sneaks up on you for sure. So got to lock those lines in. All right, guys, that'll be it. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram. Also, just one more time, do want to reiterate that we're doing a PS5 giveaway over there. So follow at oddschecker US. On IG, and you are entered into a PS5 giveaway, which is obviously awesome. And someone will walk away with that. The Thunderdome results, guys, we'll know by I guess we got to wait till Sunday because my plays, right? We'll know Sunday who wins this.
Well, when your first 2 plays lose, the Sunday play won't matter too much.
We could know tonight. Kind of pending how we all do, but make sure to stay posted with that. Hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend. No shows this weekend, but we will be back with another episode on Monday morning. See you guys then. Thanks again, Dylan, for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.